Well, I started writing this speech the literal day after Nate proposed in Hilton Head. You see, Nate isn't the type to order a photographer for his proposal. However, Kelly and I had the honor to watch the proposal live and get it all on video for our parents. We didn't want to be seen and didn't want Kristen to know we were literally 20 feet behind her, hiding under a beach chair as we ran around the beach, diving in the sand, all to witness Nate and Kristen's special moment. This was a moment to be so proud, so happy for my older brother. Luckily for me, this is how it's been their whole relationship. Watching from a distance, admiring and being inspired by their relationship. These two do it all together, and I'm blessed to get the behind the scenes. Some would call it third wheeling. I'm there when they work out together, going on vacations, road trips to Cincinnati to see our nieces and nephews. We go out together. I'm there at the park to beat them in tennis. I'm running 5Ks with them, and I'm definitely there at their Christmas parties because those are the best. See, a couple weeks after the proposal, Nate probably gave me the best advice I'd ever got. He may not remember it because we were in the middle of a bar, but it's something that's always stuck with me and has been dear to my heart. He looked at me in the middle of a bar and he said, there's 3 keys to life. He said, 1, don't sell your stock. I was like, okay, I got a ways to go for that. He said, 2, make sure you know what her mom looks like because in about 20 years, that's what she will be looking like. Now, obviously, Nate really took his own advice because Mrs. Eisenhower looks beautiful. And finally, he told me to be a servant leader. And I'm looking around the bar, servant leader, like this just got deep really fast. And so I remember I went home and I searched up what is a servant leader? A person with integrity, humility, resilience, someone who sees people as valuable as God and devotes their time and talents well. See, I just described both Nate and Kristen, and that is why their love is so deep. God has used the 2 of you in my life more than you could ever know. See, Nate and Kristen, they've always looked out after me. They've always been servant leaders to each other and me, and I'm blessed for that. When I was younger, Nate always picked me up first if I came to play basketball with his friends. They always make sure to add me to their volleyball teams when I come home in the summer. He's been an example of how to treat and love my parents, and he's always teaching me new games and ways to have fun. And even though he loves to make up his own rules, but that's what makes Nate Nate. He goes by his and God's rules. Nate taught me how to be the hardest working guy in the room without telling me about it. He just showed me. He showed me how to chase after my dreams. He showed me the happiness of being a servant leader. He showed me that with the right heart, you can create a truly special marriage. There are few titles that I'm prouder to have in my life than to be Nate's younger brother and now best man. Using Nate, God has given me a blueprint on how to navigate through this life. And whether he knows it or not, I've always been watching. I've always tried to follow him. I've always been proud to be his mini-me. I've always been proud to be his little Wally. So Nate, this is me giving you 21 years of thank yous. Our relationship is one of the most special things that I've ever had in my life. And I know what an amazing husband you're gonna be to your stunning bride.
Being 2 years apart from Chris was great because she got to kind of navigate all the hurdles of growing up, and I could kind of learn from her mistakes or not. But she did set the bar pretty high, I will say. When it comes to sports, school, and definitely relationships, she was kind of the shining star in all of those categories. It's probably safe to say God does have his favorites when it comes to the 2 of us. Growing up, whenever Chris and I talked about relationships and what we were looking for in a guy, my famous words were 99% looks and 1% personality. And now, having been single for quite some time, I think it's probably time to shift that strategy to 100% looks. But meeting Nate, I will say, he seemed like Kristen's type on paper. However, what kept them going and what made them stand out as a couple, and the reason that they are such a great match, has to be the intangibles that aren't as noticeable to the eye. Their friendship, their similarities, their differences, their goals, views, they all seem to align really well, and I think that definitely weighs the most when it comes to a lasting relationship. The past few years, Chris has grown and become such a positive role model to me, and I can't help but think Nate had something to do with that. I definitely have shifted my perspective on relationships throughout the years, and I look to Nate and Kristen when searching for what a relationship should be and what I hope to find one day. It's a partner you can rely on and someone that brings out the best in you, and I'd say you guys have set such a high bar, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm extremely excited for what the future holds for the both of you, and love to be a part of this special day, and I really look forward to continuing the celebration, and thank you all for coming, and cheers to the Wallaces.